Man, you make a catch like that, you got to let everybody know what you just did.
You're not going to know where you're going to get the deep ball from. You're not going to know where you're going to get the short pass from because we have a lot of different guys that can do it all.
All right, let's talk about Orlando Brown Jr. wanting to be the highest paid player in the NFL. Jody Fortson and Justin Ross looking good at OTAs, and dive into 4 recent pressers from Travis Kelce, Coach Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Justin Reid, and much freaking more. But first, how about those?
Donnell Moore from Kansas City, Missouri. Y'all was watching the Cole. How about those Chiefs?
What's up, guys? My name is Cole, and I do daily news about the Chiefs and the NFL overall, so I'm going to need you to sub if you're new. Hit that like button. If you think back in '82, I could throw a pigskin a quarter mile, and let's get into this news. On Thursday, 4 people spoke to the media. Coach Reid, Justin Reid, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes. So what I did is I took 45 minutes of pressers and condensed them down in a concise manner and gave some thoughts on them. So let's get into these, starting with Coach Reid. He said players are working hard and competing hard within the rules, you know, being good Phase 3 OTA citizens and all that good stuff. He also noted that there's been a ton of energy out there, which has been excited. And as far as injuries went, McCole Hardman tweaked his hamstring on Wednesday and won't be doing too terribly much while that heals, which is very unfortunate for him, because he needs to be showing out and showing off as much as humanly possible on his contract year. And then Sky Moore is still limited in practice as well because of his hamstring tweak that happened before he even came to rookie minicamp. And he mentioned something about L'Jarius Sneed, saying he's healing up and getting better. It just needs to be a little bit stronger and he'll be good to go. But can anybody tell me what the heck he's talking about? What am I missing here? I had no idea Sneed was injured. Tried to research what the heck was going on, unless he was talking about Rashad Fenton and his shoulder rehab recovery. I'm not sure, but the reporter clearly said Sneed. I listened to it 5 times. So yeah, the receiving core is looking good, and Reid noted that their time in Texas definitely seemed beneficial, especially when working on the basic routes and concepts.
Some of the new things Pat's working through with them, it's been good. I mean, the way better execution than you'd think for a bunch of new guys together.
He even said that they may be dusting off a few plays in the old playbook that they can use based on the size of some of these receivers, but sadly...
So we'll put a couple things in there. Can't tell you what they are, we'll put them in.
But really, they plan to keep doing what they've been doing as far as their general playbook goes. He basically said their playbook is massive, so I think the new guys are going to be doing all they can to retain as much as freaking possible. He touched on Mahomes' maturation process that he's seen in him since getting married, of course having that baby, and also the way he led the team in Texas and how he trusted him to do so. And then Coach was asked about our friend, the Nigerian Nightmare 2.0. Remember that guy? He listed himself as the next TO, then got moved in the depth chart from tight end to the D-line. Well, Coach Reid was asked about that guy and his thoughts on him, and he gave a very interesting answer.
I have talked to him. He is interested. He hasn't been able to do anything with us until he gets his work visa, all the paperwork done. So
the homie hasn't even been able to work out with the team, train, nothing. Not during rookie minicamp, not now. So what on earth is going on here, and why has he been moved to the D-line on the depth chart if we haven't even been able to see him work out? These things confuse me, but I really must know the answer right now. Please tell me. Anyway, he then mentioned that Orlando Brown Jr. is still looking for an agent. Homie has had months to find an agent. So what the heck is going on? What have you been doing, bro? At least watch The Matrix. Find an agent. They're everywhere. And since we're on the subject of Orlando Brown Jr., we got to land the plane here, park the boat, whatever the saying is, for a moment, because I've seen this in a couple places, but according to a league source, Orlando Brown Jr. wants to become the highest paid left tackle in the NFL, and no, I am not joking. The highest paid left tackle in the NFL right now is Trent Williams of the San Fran 49ers. He signed a 6-year deal worth in excess of $138 million. The average is $23 million per season, and 45.1, don't forget the 0.1 million of that is guaranteed. Armando Salguero from Outkick.com had this to say about Brown just yesterday. And while it is unknown exactly what ceiling Brown and his new agent, whoever the heck that'll be, will be hoping to reach when negotiations with the Chiefs begin, it's obvious $25 million per season and higher will be in the conversation, and $50 million in guarantees will not seem outrageous. So a 4-year $100 million or 5-year $125 million deal could be the floor of what the Brown camp might eventually agree to. The Chiefs this offseason placed the non-exclusive franchise tag on Brown, meaning he's currently costing them $16.6 million against their cap, despite the fact the tender has not been signed. The sides might eventually be able to work out a deal that lowers that cap number considerably, while also giving Brown that $100 million plus deal. But is he worth that? That's a great freaking question, Armando, because I don't really think so. But who am I really? I'm broke as a joke. Anyway, he went on to say, it's hard to argue Brown wouldn't be worth it. At age 26, Brown has his career's prime years ahead of him, and since being selected in the third round of the 2018 draft, Brown has earned 3 Pro Bowl selections, including last season with the Chiefs. So, whomever Orlando Brown's next agent is, the contract for the player will be huge. But while Brown is working out the details of actually starting negotiations with the Chiefs, he remains absent from the team's offseason program and OTAs.
Orlando, I talk to him like at least once a week. I mean, he's a guy that loves football. There's no doubt about that. And then that off the field stuff, I mean, that happens in every organization, every team. But I know he wants to be here. He wants to be a Kansas City Chief. And I mean, he wants to be on that football field more than anybody.
So out of all this blah, 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 I think the real question here is, does Mahomes himself trust Orlando Brown Jr. with his blind side? I mean, if the coaches ask Mahomes, is he worth keeping around at all costs? And Mahomes' answer is yes. Do they pay this man more than any other left tackle in the entire league? Probably so. We will definitely find out as soon as he gets an agent. Time will tell there. Time is ticking, bud. Deadline's coming up, so chop chop. And then, while you have running backs missing OTAs and arguing with sports analysts on Twitter, running backs like Lamar Jackson, okay, my bad, that was a typo. Quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, that stuff's going on. So while you got guys out there doing that, you have Mahomes, who is here at OTAs and who has been working. He said he trained with the guys in Texas for
almost a month and working out with them, throwing with them. We'd go to lunch, go to dinner, stuff like that. You kind of build that chemistry. And I think a big part of especially our offense is having that chemistry on the field, being able to know what the guy's doing without having to talk about it. There's one way when the coach is teaching it, and then there's a way whenever I get to explain how I'm thinking. And their job is to learn how to run it the way the coach wants, and then to be on the same page as me. And I thought that was a good way to start that.
Yeah, because what's the point of running routes proper if you aren't on the same page with your QB and do not understand his mindset? Clearly building that rapport is very important to Mahomes, especially when 3/5 of your main receiving core went bye-bye last season. Pringle, D-Rob, and Hill. Mahomes reiterated that he got in a lot of reps with the guys in Texas, got to really talk through how he sees routes and explain his side of things, and he was slinging the ball all around to everybody.
That's what you're going to see at this offense this year. Is it's going to be everybody. It's not going to be one guy. And obviously Travis is going to still get a lot of completions, a lot of yards.
And that's going to be the excitement of, what's new this year is teams are going to have to see how we're going to come out and attack them. And with a guy like 1-5 out there who knows where to go with the ball, I think it can be an advantage for sure.
But I think the whole receiving room is going to have big days, and I think that could be something that we can use to our advantage. You're not going to know where you're going to get the deep ball from. You're not going to know where you're going to get the short pass from, because we have a lot of different guys that can do it all. So I think having all those guys, I think it'll help us get more of those deep throws that we've been accustomed to.
Oh, really? Deep passes down the field again? I like that. Anyway, all this training off-site has allowed them to really hit the ground running here on-site. He was asked about Justin Ross, the guy who everyone, especially the Chiefs social media team, has seemingly fallen in love with.
The way he catches the football out of the air, he snatches it, there's no drops, everything like that. Now it's about him learning the NFL offense. I mean, that's how it is for every rookie when they come in. And you've seen the splashes of how talented he can be, and then you've seen times where he's just barely off of what we wanted, and he learns from that. He doesn't make that same mistake.
So yeah, he seemed to also love Justin Ross. Maybe not be in love with him, but definitely loved him and thinks he's going to improve as time progresses. He touched on another receiver with the same first name as Justin Ross, Justin, you guessed it, Watson, saying he's been pleasantly surprised by him as well. Mahomes was actually so caught off guard by how quick Watson was their first day in Texas that he
called Veach, and I was like, wait, how fast is this guy? Because he was running so fast that I was late on all my throws.
So yeah, the receiving room this year is very competitive to say the least. And about that very thing, Mahomes had this to say.
It's a very deep receiving room. I mean, it's hard to tell which guys you're going to make it because we have so many good receivers. That's what you want. You want that competition. You want guys competing every single day to try to make the roster because they're going to help us in the end.
Well, Patrick, I would like you to tell us who you would like to make the roster. That's what we all want to know. You know what else I would like to know? how to make the press conferences more organized because, as you can see here, literally everyone just speaks up at once, yelling at the player, trying to get their question in first, and it's pretty freaking annoying if I'm going to be honest here. So, y'all are professionals, do better. Mahomes is excited to continue to build with the guys, inviting them to KC sporting events like the Royals games, KC Sporting, all that good stuff, and introducing them all to the city that he fell in love with. He definitely has been enjoying this offseason way more than the previous because last year he was recovering from that toe surgery, COVID protocols are still in place, and he wasn't able to golf as much, poor guy. But that's what Wii Golf is for, and Mahomes is excited, speaking of golf, to play in his upcoming match against the
old guys. They've been trying to talk trash, but you can tell it's either scripted or old jokes that they found on Twitter. So when we get on that golf course and we get to really talk trash, I know me and Josh are going to do that, and we're going to win the match as well.
Will Mahomes and Josh Allen beat the old guys? Tune in June 1st to tell. Hashtag not sponsored. From there, safety Justin Reid was up next and also complimented the unity they are developing out there in the secondary and then detailed the intentional effort that goes into building that unity off the field as well. Team events, cookouts, and even mentioned they will be doing weekly dinners together to build that rapport and trust with each other. And I found that pretty incredible if I'm going to be honest. But Justin, if you could, please let me know when the next cookout is because I would really like to go. He spoke highly of the rookies, McDuffie, Brian Cook, and Joshua Williams specifically, saying that they seem to be doing a good job learning the playbook, which is, quote, very deep. Deeper than the playbook in Houston for him as a rookie for sure. Oh yeah, buddy, shout out to Spags for utilizing most of his guys in a very confusing, versatile way and having them shift all around, disguise schemes, and all that fun stuff. So have fun learning that. He said the defense is electric, and he's willing to do it all.
I'm not afraid to do anything. I'll play zone, I'll play man, I'll blitz, I'll play in the middle of the field, I'll play deep half. You know, whatever it is that the coaches ask me to do, I'm confident to do it.
And then some reporter actually asked him if, since he's been here, it's been in the back of his mind that he's replacing someone like Tyrann Mathieu.
No, I mean, it's the same thing that I said earlier. Like, me and Tyrann know each other, our families know each other. My older brother was roommates with Tyrann their freshman year in college. So, you know what I mean? I have a deep love and respect for him. I don't treat myself as a comparison to Tyrann or a comparison to any other player. I've always lived by the standard that you are playing the man that you look to in the mirror.
Justin thinks his former teammate, who is now his current teammate once again, cornerback Lonnie Johnson Jr., who also played safety in Houston, is going to do well here because of his large frame and ability to press. And I can neither confirm or deny this, but it seemed like Justin Reid chugged an entire cold brew before stepping up to speak to the media because he was speaking very excitedly. Very, 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 very. A lot of energy. He basically was ecstatic to be here, complimented everybody from his teammates to the water boys, saying they have all they need. And he's been really enjoying his time here learning the defense. And
I've had a lot of fun playing in this defense. I've had a lot of fun getting to know my teammates. The locker room is great. It's full of a bunch of good guys.
And shortly after this, he read the reporters the message from his most recent fortune cookie.
Your leaders need to be your best players, but your best players also have to be your hardest workers.
And then Travis, the greatest tight end in the entire NFL, Kelce, stepped up next to speak with the media and spoke with some real maturity. If I'm going to be honest, his answers were all calculated. You can tell he's been doing this for a little while now. He complimented the new guys, saying it's been fun being around them, but at the same time, it's business here and time to get to work. It's been great for him to build that rapport with the receiving crew when they were in Texas and getting to know those guys.
Guys like Quez and Juju come in with the type of mentality they've came in with, the professionalism, the want to know how to get things going, and then just the work ethic. Out there getting a little uncomfortable every single day to, you know, really build that machine, so we're out there playing fast.
Kelce spoke on his importance on this offense, not in a cocky way, but simply as a factual concept, and how he's prided himself in adapting over the years to ultimately be who the team needed him to be based on that current season, because as the seasons come and go, the team has to adapt and evolve as new players rotate in. He then touched on Noah Gray, saying he takes things very seriously, much more serious in fact than Kelce did early on in his own career, and notes that when you pay that much attention to detail and try to better yourself every day like Noah does, there's nowhere to go but up. And regarding another tight end, Jody Fortson.
Jody F, man. 8'8", man. He's one of the hardest workers I know. His want and knowledge for the game to always try and get better. And then on top of that, to pass it along to guys that haven't had the reps.
He sees him as a real leader on this team as well, saying it's always an exciting time seeing him flying around on the field. And on the subject of Fortson, it's worth noting that on Thursday, he officially signed his contract tender following that OTA practice, which is a formality ensuring he'll be back with the team for the 2022 NFL season. So he's officially back, recovering nicely from that Achilles surgery, and should be good to go for this season. So let's freaking go. But back to Kelce's presser here. He was asked about Tryeek and what it's like with him gone.
I was sad, man. It was, I came into this building for the past, I think, 6 years, 7 years, going to work with that guy. That's a relationship I don't think I'll ever lose. It's just a different world thinking about what this team would be without him. But now it's we're rolling, and I can see a vision for sure.
So yeah, that was sad, but reality here in the NFL. Kelce has been around for a while, and to see him at OTAs working out, training with the new guys, raising them up, it shows the leader that he really is. He wants to do whatever it takes to see this team win, so much so that he actually mentioned the comment George Kittle made recently about him being underpaid for the value that he provides to the team, and this was his response.
Money in my mind is almost a secondary at this point in my career. I'm here for the legacy, and I'm here to try and make the Kansas City Chiefs the best team possible, man. That's my main focus. That's why I'm here.
Which you do really love to hear that. He was then asked about old washed-up LaShawn McCoy's comments about Eric Bieniemy, and while Kelce hadn't seen the interview prior to answering the question, he said there's been plenty of times in his life where he's really liked somebody that somebody else has not. It's all a personal thing depending on the individual, but as for him personally about Eric Bieniemy,
I know I have a great relationship with him. I've even butted heads with him, but at the same time, I know what that guy's about, and that guy's about working hard for the whole of the team and making sure that everybody's accountable. And on top of that, he's just a passionate guy. He's a competitor, one of the best competitors that I've ever met, because of how hard he works and how much attention to detail that he has.
And then Kelce was asked if there was anything he's seen from Eric Bieniemy behind the scenes that should prevent him from being a head coach. He said,
"Not a chance, no."
So, do you believe Kelce? Because I'd like to think I believe Kelce more than an authorless article that mysteriously surfaces online whose very goal was to slander EB for all he was worth. But hey, maybe that's just me. And to be clear, I'm sure there were truths in that article, so don't get me wrong, and I am not saying I think EB should become a head coach, not necessarily. That's for the teams that interview him to decide, and 14 or so teams have decided he's not a fit for their organization, so there's definitely some type of leadership qualities he's missing. Maybe some of his past mistakes are still looming over his head. There's some dark ones, if we're going to be honest. On top of the fact, I think he's just a hard-nosed coach that's very black and white about things, which would honestly make that a bit hard to lead a team as a head coach. Definitely let me know your thoughts about these pressers in the comments down below. Anything stand out to you? What did you like? What did you not like? Are you ready for some freaking football? Let me know in the comments down below. And from here, let's take a look at some of my favorite comments from yesterday, because I'm very active in the comments and go over them every video. Let's start with this guy. Randy Manson, who is apparently a league source for the NFL, says, "Bias much? Ever actually play football? Because Shady ain't lying." Well, first off, I didn't realize that if you play football, that means you are going to be able to know personal conversations in the locker room between LaShawn McCoy and Eric Bieniemy. That's news to me. And second, I'm glad you were there and can accurately report these things to me. That is so very kind of you. Maybe you can be a source for me on things like this in the future, bud. Ronald Heath says, "Hey Cole, just want to let you know I've actually been a follower now since not long after you started posting. What attracted me to your channel is your enthusiasm for the Chiefs and the NFL as a whole. Thank you very much." Well, you're welcome very much. Kingdom Vibes says, "Love your videos. I've been watching you since you started. Keep up the good work. Wake up every morning to tune in." Timothy Lute says, "Cole, you are the best. Thanks for all the hair and beard pics at various stages. I visit several Chiefs channels nightly, but you were always the first. I do not believe in saving the best for last." How would that actually apply to getting married? Okay, yeah, true about the marriage thing. Find the best first, like I did with my wife. Let's freaking go. Bev in Boulder says, "Cole, your beard is way redder than your hair on your head." At least when you had hair on your head. What gives? Well, Bev, I dye my hair to look more Irish than I really am. I'm not going to lie to you. All right, actually, I did just lie to you. I honestly have no idea why it's so red. It's just the way it is. It's just the way God made me, okay? Margaret Hooper says, "OMG, I haven't watched you in a couple weeks, and now you have thrown in attitude. Love that. And you are clever to ask for. How about those Chiefs videos?" Finally, Trim an inch or two off that beard. All right, Margaret, well, thanks for the compliment. I am a rather sassy individual, but that's going to be a big NO on trimming the beard. Never ask me to do that again. You understand? Will J says, Chiefs going to go 4-13, fight me. NGL, aka not gonna lie, because I'm too lazy to type that out. Well, Will J, I learned a long time ago in life not to pick a fight with those that I know I could absolutely destroy. So no thank you, little man. Robert Gagio says, love the show. Been a Chiefs fan since 68. I believe. I've watched every episode. Keep up the good work. Well, sir, you are the real MVP. Jeremy Williams says they brought back EB's replacement, a QB coach, right now. That's right, Reid will replace EB if there's a problem this year or in the offseason with Nagy more than likely. Yep, I would be 0% surprised if Nagy takes up the OC position here within the next season or two. Austin Greer says, love the videos, Cole. I watch these every day in the shower. Nothing weird, I promise. You release them just before I get ready for work, and they are the perfect length for me to be done and out by the end. You have the best and most entertaining Chiefs news videos on the entire internet. I added the word entire, but it sounded good. Well, thank you for the support, and I'm glad I can entertain your shower time. Let's go. Better late than never says, it's my youngest daughter's 2nd birthday today, and I got her to say, how about those Chiefs? Keep up the good work, Cole. Well, dude, happy birthday to the young 2-year-old legend. Let's freaking go. You got to send in a video of her saying it, and let's get her on this show. Golden Age of Dinosaurs said, I'm just bummed we lost Kafka. I was hoping he'd get his shot as OC and potentially the future head coach. LaShawn just didn't like getting yelled at by Coach Bieniemy for holding the ball out like a fool. Yeah, that's true. Bieniemy did not like that one bit. Randall Robbins says, you kept us waiting till after 1 p.m. for this video. I guess your recent consistency has left me feeling entitled to a video around 11 a.m. daily. I should probably just be grateful that you've been producing every day. Yeah, man, some of these edits take way longer than others, especially when other videos are involved and I have to splice them all together, add subtitles and all that stuff. So I'm just going to need you to stay patient, young grasshopper, okay? But I'm willing to do what I need to do to release videos for Chiefs Kingdom. Let's freaking go. Chris Christian says, how about those Chiefs, aka Spicy Chiefs TV is my new favorite dose of Kingdom content. You're going to be a local celeb by the time our tailgates roll around next season. See ya at Arrowhead. Well, I will definitely see you there, bro. And I'll say this, I do not want to be a celeb. I just want some free barbecue. I am down for the cause if somebody will make me barbecue, always. Matthew Logan says, not stopping the comments till I show up on the channel. Let's go Chiefs. Well, I definitely debated not responding, so you will keep commenting on my videos, but the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Is that the saying? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Either way, I don't really care about the saying. I just appreciate the heck out of you, bro, and the heck out of you all. Make sure to leave a comment below to potentially be featured in an upcoming video. Sub for more daily news like this. And then check out this video here that is of me at a younger age doing backflips and flipping out like a literal ninja. Hope you enjoy that one. And until next time, let's go. How about those